In a while. I'm still getting used to seeing myself in this situation. All right, let's see what we got here. I think Brij is ready to go. Let's see if our man's there. He is. Brij, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up?
What's going on, man? How's he doing? How's it feeling?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't seen you for a very long time. Last time,
for years. No, I think last time's gig was at Mumbai Assembly. I think that was the last time you saw me during that Years On showcase.
Yeah. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, that was super long ago. Well, I've actually wanted to do this with you for a long time. Well, on the one hand, this conversation, not necessarily televised or broadcast, although that's what's happening right now. But I actually just wanted to talk to you because I think I first came across your music, I feel, in 2000. Well, I must have been 16.
2017, I think. No, 2016. 16.
I think it was 16.
Yeah, the end of 16.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was actually Disquiet, a former moniker that you've since discarded.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but
I think it was actually that. When did you actually start making music in terms of the kind of music, music as it might be in general, either like using a computer or hardware or otherwise? When did this thing actually start for you?
Probably started in 2012. I think I got my hands onto Fruity Loops 3 through my dance teacher. I think he gave me a CD full of 25 music softwares. And some of them were Sony Acid and Vegas and Audacity and all that shit. And there was Fruity Loops 3, and I just installed it for fuck's sake. And I just started fucking around with it and then seeing whatever was there. Palash is here. What's up?
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, what the fuck are you... Anyway, so I started that shit, and then I found out that the latest version was FL10.
Okay.
So I just went with the flow, and then one thing led to another, and then I just started making music, and then what the fuck are you doing, man?
Amazing.
Yeah. You're here, right? Yeah, that is.
Yo, hi Arundathi, what's up? It's Palash.
It started, it's live.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, Palash is Palash.
So FL Studio seems to be a starting point.
Yeah, that was my starting point. I still use it, though I've mostly switched to Ableton now. But that really opened my eyes to a lot of things. I listened to a lot of EDM, a lot of that shit. I wanted to headline Tomorrowland, had such dreams. But I was taking a video right now. So,
No.
So open on Twitch.
No.
Shut up.
Starting.
Anyway, so one thing led to another, man, and now I'm here after about 4-5 years, I guess. Just a constant process of self-discovery and shit.
Okay.
Just trying to see what I like and stuff. So.
Did you always want to make music? Was that something you always wanted to do, or is it kind of something that just happened?
No, man. I mean, it just manifested, I guess, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do because in 11th and 12th I took engineering. So started preparing for entrance exams and shit. Yeah. So all that stuff happened, and simultaneously this entire music production thing kicked off. And before I was in 11th grade, I joined this class sort of thing for DJs, and really stupid. Didn't really learn much, but it taught me a lot of stuff about music and all, and that really got me interested into a lot of music production and things like that. So yeah, that really kept the ball rolling, and then I started listening to a lot more music, and then subsequently my curiosity in music production also increased a lot. So I started watching more tutorials, started doing a lot of things. So yeah.
Okay.
Things happened, and then now I'm here.
Right. Okay. I think a lot of people are, a lot of your peers, well, both older and younger, are pretty, I'm gonna say, impressed with your production skills. Not to make you feel weird, but it's true. I wanted to know when I don't know what the status is of Jwala as a collective, but when did that actually happen? I asked the same question to Palash a while ago when we had a conversation similarly, but I'm curious from your take on it. When did that actually start?
Yeah, I mean, Palash would have loved to hear this since he was here, but he's here again. He's asking about Jwala. So Jwala started in 2017 after that one gig where all of us played simultaneously, and it just manifested. I mean, all seven of us initially just got together and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's just release music together." Like, we didn't really have a plan in place. We just wanted to get together and do some shit, And I think at that time there were three more collectives in action already. I think Consolidators doing their stuff in Bangalore, and Nritya and Dasta were also doing their stuff. But Dasta more of what we were doing because they were also a bunch of people getting together and doing stuff. So we didn't really have any inspiration. We just wanted to come together and make music. So that's what happened. And I mean, Jwala just happened.
What's up with it right now?
Jwala is like, we just working behind the scenes, I guess. So there's another compilation coming for sure.
New comp in a month.
New comp in a month, as Palash says. Yeah, I know you are. It's Shreyas' birthday, man.
No.
Like, doesn't So we're putting together a new compilation, and a lot of us were stuck in our own work and our own projects and stuff. So we've been pretty dormant. We are still pretty dormant, but we just want to take things a little slow and release stuff whenever we think is easier for us to release. So yeah, I mean, that's what's up. And yeah, I mean, this one compilation is coming. We're always searching for new producers. I mean, just as I am, and a lot of cool demos are coming in on the mail. I mean, we keep checking, and we're always mesmerized by all the new talent that's coming up in this country. So yeah, I mean, we're always pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I mean, things are happening. They're happening a little slowly, but they're happening. So yeah. Like, we're not pressurized to do shit.
Right.
If you get what I'm saying. Like, we just going to do shit at our own speed.
What actually motivates you to, like, as I know that, I mean, you and I, we talk a lot about music that we find, that we get excited about. I know for me, it's a very basic thing. I just like to listen, and I'm really curious about what people are doing, and I kind of like just spending, time trawling SoundCloud or Bandcamp or whatever. But I know that you also share a similar kind of interest. What is it about? I mean, for me personally, I think it's just I just like finding stuff. I just like finding stuff and feeling excited about it. And for me, that's kind of, I suppose, a big part of it. But what about you? What kind of motivates you to spend the time to do that?
Dude, so I initially used to write for two websites. Bangin Beats and Festival Sherpa. And the reason I used to write for them was because, just like you, I mean, I love hunting for new music, and if it's from my own country, it's even better. So, I just go SoundCloud digging every day or every alternate day. I mean, I just check whatever people have liked, and then I just go trawling through SoundCloud for tracks, and I keep discovering so much new shit, and I keep saving and consolidating them onto playlists, and it just gets stuck in my head because I started off as a music fan. I mean, I didn't start off as a musician. I haven't played any instruments. I tried playing the keyboard, but that didn't happen. I tried playing the guitar, but that didn't happen. So, I mean, I've always been a fan of music. I've never actually been musically oriented, so to speak. That all happened much later. But that hunt kept going on, I mean, all this entire discovery. I mean, the discovery was just happening in general, like every other person in the world, I mean, you find new music, you get excited. So that was my scene, and there was a point where I started discovering a lot of new music from India and its neighbors and the entire subcontinent, basically. So that prospect really got me excited about a lot of things. I mean, I just wanted to listen to more music, and a lot of my people making more music, and I just so my first SoundCloud profile was, I think, in 2013. I'm not even sure. I mean, I've been on SoundCloud for a while, like a few people have, and the fact that a lot of these underground producers just upload on SoundCloud, I mean, you won't find them on Spotify. No. You won't discover them to editorial playlists because they don't even select such people. But a lot of people say that SoundCloud is dead and all, but I don't really believe that shit because a lot of people say that. You won't believe that. I mean, a lot of people say that SoundCloud is dead, but the reason they say that it's dead is because they don't really make the effort to hunt for a lot of artists.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because Spotify just spoon feeds them, like you have a chill playlist, you have an R&B playlist, you have a high energy playlist, whatever the fuck they say. But SoundCloud really gives you a chance to discover. I mean, so does Spotify, but SoundCloud just does it in a more community-oriented way because if you notice, if you play a track on SoundCloud, whatever tracks have been suggested to you on the right, they're all things that the artists that you listen to have liked. So, as in, it's like an entire community aspect. And over here, especially in India, artists keep supporting other artists. So, you play one track, the next track that you play is either their friend or someone that they've really vibed to, and that keeps continuing. So
definitely,
it's a good thing. I mean, overall, and it really aids in the entire discovery scenario. And I've been hooked on to that. So I just keep hunting for new music, and sometimes I don't even have to hunt, because they just appear right in front of me.
That's the thing.
So that's
it. Just appears.
Yeah.
Do you think that what's happening here in India or the region is distinct to other parts of the world in any way, in terms of this? Well, there's the sheer number of producers that are putting music out there, or is it just like everywhere else? What do you think?
Probably everywhere else, man. I mean, there are a lot of music in Nepal also. There are a lot of underground music in Nepal that people have just been uploading onto SoundCloud, which is pretty insane because that discovery has been really eye-opening. And I'm pretty sure every country has its underground scene, especially countries in Africa. I mean, I just discovered their boiler room sets and discovered quite a few musicians from there, and I'm pretty sure each and every country in Africa has its own nuances in terms of music, and there's just so much music to find for all of us that hasn't really reached the mainstream or whatever, So that hunt just keeps me alive, I just keep trawling through SoundCloud and searching for music.
Tell us about your Twitch series that you started 3 weeks ago, every Friday. What's that all about? Friday Fire.
Same thing. I mean, I want to search for more music in India, And if people keep sending me more music, I can stream it to a bunch of people and then, just have them increase their own audience. Because, so what I really do is, I play their track, I give them a little feedback, or demo kind of thing. And a lot of them post really sick tracks. And a bunch of people actually watch that. And the thing about Twitch is electronic music as a streaming thing is just picked up. So a lot of people overseas also tune in at times. So the chances of discovery are a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's really advantageous because whoever is listening to whatever track I play, I post their link profile on the Twitch chat. So people can whoever is on the chat and listening to the music right now can just hit the link, follow them, probably message them, ask them for a collaboration. So, the community just keeps getting bigger. And not just in India, I mean, the entire world gets to listen to whatever you've made. And there's some pretty sick music being made in this country, and I just want to put it all out in any capacity that I can. Which is why I started.
Why not start a label? Is that something you've ever thought about? I don't even know what a label means. I mean, I kind of know what a label means, and I've been asked the same question. So, but I'm curious. Have you ever thought about it?
I have, man. I mean, Jwala was supposed to be a label, but I think that's going to take some time. But if I'm a label, right? If I'm a label, I really want to do justice to the artists that I'm releasing. I mean, I want to handle their promos. I want to get them onto Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. Not just get them on Spotify, Apple Music. I want to get them playlisted, ensure them some plays, and also, I think being a good label is a lot of work. And just starting a label, I mean, distributing music has become super easy. You can just create an account on something like DistroKid or TuneCore, and you can have a bunch of artists in your list, and you can just release their music, put them out on Spotify. And the main work of a label is just releasing music, right, on most platforms. But most new labels, I think, forget about the long-term evolution of the artist that they're releasing, because every artist deserves promotion, man. I mean, every artist deserves to have equal opportunity to get discovered by a lot of people. Sure. And that shit is only enabled by, sadly in 2020, it's only enabled by shit like Spotify editorials or Apple Music editorial playlists or whatever, I mean, Bandcamp makes it much easier because they're genuine music lovers, and if they really like the music, they buy it. But Spotify and Apple Music are more of a streaming based model, so that shit gets a little tricky.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, if labels are like, I talked to a lot of people about this, and on the one hand, there's all the very serious work of PR and putting it out there and connections and people, and basically a lot of it's networking. But, and sure, one can do that and one has to do that. But I think, like for me personally, if I think of labels that I'm really inspired by, I think it's just like, it's a certain complete hermetic bubble that they seal themselves in, or at least it seems to be, where they're so convinced about their aesthetic or their sound or just how they present themselves, like the whole package, That to me has always been...
Yeah, man, I mean, the complete package always matters. I mean, every label has their own sound, their own aesthetic, but then they really got to give a shit about the artist that they're releasing, I mean, that I think is what makes a good label. If the label takes care of everything, I mean, they master their shit, and, ensure adequate promos, get them onto websites, get them onto playlists. I think as the years have passed, the work of a label has just increased a lot. So. And there may be a bunch of labels that are cutting corners, or I mean,
what do you mean?
I don't think so. If I were to start a label, I would ensure that I'd invest enough money. I mean, I just want to give value to the artists that I'm releasing, otherwise there's no point in just putting that artist's work on Spotify and shit. So, I mean, if I get to that point, or when I get to that point, because I really want to start a label in the future, that's when I would consider, I mean, just keeping everything in mind. like a broader picture.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to necessarily talk about other labels in this country. I think what you just talked about sounds a lot like Consolidate on the one level, I feel. But I'm surprised. Maybe there are a lot of labels popping up here and there, but it's the thing. It's like, if so much of running a label really comes down to people you know, it's I guess ultimately the global reach, you know, it takes a certain combination of things.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about, we talked about this a little bit. I had this kind of potentially half-baked theory about people your age and their parents in particular in India.
Yep.
And the thought was essentially that, the Indian economy opened up to trade essentially in 1991. And a lot of people who are your parents' age, let's say, probably started working in different sectors after that, be it in broadcast or advertising, things that kind of lined up with different opportunities because of different investors in the country. And I feel like I've often felt and wondered that if that's the case, the people who did that, say in 95, I think, say Viacom first came in 98, I think, or MTV. No, that was MTV. Sorry, but basically these kind of like media houses started to come around that time.
I was in 1998. I was
exactly. So this is my point. But maybe people like your parents were, especially in a city like Bombay, were maybe finding employment or had been working in the industry for some time. The question and the point I was wondering is that was thinking if it's valid or not, is like, does that mean that maybe because they themselves found employment in creative sectors when they were in their 20s, let's say, starting a family, that when they finally did decide to have children, they were more receptive or open to the idea of their children pursuing creative careers? Do you think there's any truth to that amongst people your age? I know it goes both ways, but...
Yeah, I mean, see, I don't know about other parents, but my parents have been pretty open to whatever I've been doing as long as I can, sustain myself or whatever. Like, they just want me to know, as in they just want me to kind of realize whatever I'm doing and whether it will sustain me in the long term. And whatever I'm doing, I just got to prove it to them, that's all. In terms of monetary value or whatever, career-wise and everything. I mean, I can't really say the same for any other music maker in the country because every house is different. I mean, in India, there's so many cultures, so many ways of parenting or whatever, I mean, I really can't say because my case is just probably unique, as unique as any other parent's case,
Yeah, I'm trying to pull apart maybe, and like you say, maybe it happens all over the world and it's not entirely unique to this country, but I still do often wonder if there is something that kind of has come together. Because, I mean, if you look at it another way, in terms of independent so-called music, I mean, it's somewhat more recent phenomenon here, I suppose. At least stuff outside of the film industry. And there being even a possibility of doing stuff like this. Is that kind of conversation that you have with other people? You don't have to name anybody, but in terms of their own kind of concerns or fears about sustaining this kind of a career in so-called music industry. It's really hard. It's really hard, and there's a lot of talent, obviously.
I've had a few conversations, though. I mean, I've had a few conversations with other music producers about how their families don't really support the idea of their kids doing music production, but they're still rebellious and doing it anyway because they love making music that much. I mean, it's a pretty varied factor, I guess. I mean, those who are making music, they're just there on their laptops, just holed up on their headphones, just making music. And just like me, okay, so I did a side job it wasn't really a side job. I think music was my side job for a while. Because, just after college, I spent 2 years in a mobile ad company. I was writing content and creative strategy for them. So that was my day job. And at night I used to make music. So I think whoever is my age or older than this, I think this is their case. Unless they're making music commercially, I think most people have a day job. Most music producers have a day job, and they just do their job during the day and make music at night. I guess maybe it's to make their parents happy, or it's to get as much cash as they can to, buy more equipment. I don't really know, but everyone has their own reasons.
Of course, yeah.
It's just a matter of survival and making music at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of some older producers I speak to, they often, and I've had this conversation a few times, older meaning let's say 30 something, 32, they often kind of wonder, on the one hand they're amazed by the sheer amount of talent that is popping up on their radar, maybe because of stuff that you're doing in terms of playlist curation, but others as well, and labels of course putting out music. And yeah, a lot of the producers are younger than them, but I think they're concerned, they wonder what's going to happen when they move out of home. And it's kind of can they sustain it? And not because they doubt the talent, but I think they also realize how difficult it can be. Is this something that concerns you, or do you just kind of roll the dice, see what happens, and take it one step at a time?
Yeah, I think it's the latter, man. I mean, I just see what happens, I guess. But I mean, a lot of music producers do take up commercial work if it gets to that point, or do other jobs to sustain whatever. Because I mean, I'll be frank, electronic music in India, unless you're making palatable music, that's what I would call it, palatable music like Nuclear or Rithras or somebody, you're not going to survive. I mean, I make a lot of glitch oriented or trip hop or whatever music, and not a lot of people in India listen to that, so that's not going to fetch me a lot of cash, because we are a population of 1.3 billion people, and most of them either listen to Bollywood or Punjabi music or whatever, genres in the South. There's such a vast area for that, and the scene that I'm a part of, or the kind of music that I make is completely different. It's not even, I mean, I wouldn't even call it Indian. It has Indian touches, but I'm influenced by a lot of artists from the West, or from other parts of the globe, and I wouldn't call my music Indian. I would just call my music whatever I make. And I'm not really in that entire commercial scene, but suppose you're moving out and it comes to that, then maybe you're compelled to make that kind of commercial music just to sustain yourself, or have a kind of side job just to sustain yourself, and that'll either make or break you, I guess. I haven't really been in that zone yet, but let's see what happens. I mean, I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. Let's see what happens, Brij. Well, listen, thanks a lot for taking the time, and have a good time tonight. Wish Shreyas the best.
Problem, man. Nice to have you.
Happy birthday, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Definitely.
Right. Take care of yourself. Bye.
to erase it. Lost the energy to face it.
Because the light is not coming on.
तू पीछे जा क्योंकि लाइट तू पीछे जा हाँ
Yeah. She's asking me if I got the orange scene. I did get the orange scene. I think Skype crashed, she says. I don't know. Might have.